The Exorcism in Santo Cristo village. Chapter 1. The beginning of the haunting. In the peaceful village of Santo Cristo, the life of Isabel, an 18-year-old girl, suddenly took a dark turn. Once a cheerful and active member of the community, Isabel's mother, ailing Felicia, noticed that she became increasingly quiet, often locking herself in her room and growing anxious by the day. One night, strange events began when ailing Felicia heard her daughter screaming from her room. She rushed to Isabel and found her speaking in a strange language, words that sounded foreign and unnatural. Additionally, the temperature in their home dropped sharply, and they began hearing heavy footsteps, even though no one else was around. Desperate and unsure of what to do, ailing Felicia sought help from Tatang Andres, the renowned healer in their village. Mateo, his grandson, accompanied him as they visited Isabel's home, bringing with them healing herbs and tools. Tatang Andres, please help us, ailing Felicia pleaded, recounting the strange occurrences in their home. I don't know what's happening to my daughter. It's as if another entity has taken over her. Tatang Andres turned to Mateo, who was observing quietly. Mateo, this is your chance to learn the true challenge of being a healer. You need to witness and experience how to confront malevolent spirits. Chapter 2. The arrival of darkness. As soon as they arrived at Isabel's home, Mateo immediately felt the heavy energy in the air. The atmosphere inside the house was cold, and the candlelight flickered, as if something was trying to extinguish it. In Isabel's room, they found her lying down, her eyes closed, but her body emitted an inexplicable warmth. Tatang Andres surveyed the area and recited a few prayers. Mateo, we must be cautious. The spirit inside Isabel is strong and violent. This is no ordinary soul. As Mateo prepared the candles and incense, Isabel suddenly moved, sitting up and glaring at them with eyes that seemed devoid of life, but full of rage. Her mouth opened, and a deep, unnatural voice spoke. You cannot drive me out. This is my home now. Mateo was taken aback by what he heard, and his heart raced with fear, but he knew he had to remain steadfast. Under Tatang Andres' guidance, they began the ritual to expel the evil spirit. Chapter 3. The battle with the spirit. As the ritual progressed, the spirit inside Isabel grew more enraged. Her body began to turn blue, and her hands curled like claws, as if ready to attack. Tatang Andres continued his prayers, while Mateo lit more candles to strengthen their protection. Suddenly, the wind changed direction, and the windows slammed shut on their own, casting strange shadows that seemed to move around them. The spirit revealed more of its power, darkening the entire room, and objects began to fly around. But Tatang Andres and Mateo were undeterred. They continued praying, surrounding Isabel with light. In the midst of the struggle, they heard a loud, sinister laugh that seemed to emanate from beneath the ground. You cannot defeat me. I am stronger. The spirit roared as Isabel's body convulsed violently. Tatang Andres remained unfazed. Mateo raised the medallion and used the prayer I taught you. This is where your abilities as a healer will be truly tested. Light emanated from the medallion Mateo held, and with every prayer he uttered, the spirit's power gradually weakened. The shadows around them started to dissipate, and the spirit's roar turned into a faint whisper. However, amidst their victory, Isabel suddenly stopped breathing, and her body collapsed onto the bed. Chapter 4. The Final Ritual. Father Benjamin, the priest they had called for assistance, immediately stepped in. We must finish this now. The spirit is close to leaving, but we need to perform the final ritual to banish it completely. Father Benjamin, Tatang Andres, and Mateo combined their prayers, surrounding Isabel's body with candles and incense. As they did this, Isabel began to stir once more, but this time, it was no longer the malevolent spirit controlling her. A bright light enveloped her body, and a deep, echoing scream filled the entire house. Finally, after hours of intense prayer and ritual, the spirit's presence gradually weakened until it was completely gone. Isabel's body returned to normal, her breathing steadied, and at last, she fell into a peaceful sleep. Chapter 5. The Return of Peace. After the ordeal, life in Isabel and ailing Felicia's home returned to normal. The evil spirit never returned, and their house was once again filled with light and joy. Mateo continued his studies under Tatang Andres, now stronger and more prepared for any future battles against the darkness. You've learned one of the most important lessons as a healer, Tatang Andres told him. Faith and courage are your greatest weapons against the darkness. Now Meadows' name spread throughout Santo Cristo, not just as a healer, but as a savior of those possessed by evil spirits. With every challenge that came his way, he knew he was ready, guided by his grandfather and strengthened by his unwavering faith.